Hi, my name is Eddie C., and welcome to My Positive Podcast. I'll bring you positive stories of people from all walks of life, because everyone has a story to tell. Hi, everybody. I'm Eddie C., and this is MPP, My Positive Podcast. Today, we're going to be interviewing a special guest, and we're going to be talking about prosperity as well. And I look forward to this conversation because it's going to be also a very special one. We're here at the wonderful Pilgrim House here in Antwerp on the Pilgrimstraat. So if you get a chance to come to Antwerp, check out this place. It's a wonderful place to come eat, meet, see beautiful artwork, and have a lovely cocktail. I've got a special guest with me today, and he's actually the son of my bookkeeper. But he's an amazing guy. He has had quite a journey in such a young life. Please welcome my guest, Jente Wagenaars.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, how are you doing, buddy? Your story is quite remarkable. You're actually a physiotherapist, and that was basically your main job, working together with your lady, with your partner, your Ellie, and you all were both physiotherapists. But you had a terrible car accident. It was about a couple of years ago, right? No?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago, and now you had a spinal injury, so you're not able to walk. You have to do everything in your wheelchair. But what I've seen you do in these few minutes that I've seen you come around, you get along quite well with your handicap. Can you tell how this whole thing happened?
Well, we were actually just together for 1 month, and we went for the Easter weekend to Zurich to be a weekend away from everything and spend some real time together. And on the way back home, I needed to take an exit. We were going to pass Cochem, which is a small village near the Mosel River, and they say that it's a very picturesque village. So I had to take the exit, and whilst taking the exit, my brakes failed.
Wow.
And instead of being able to take the turn, my car kept going at 122 kilometers an hour. And hence I went straight and we crashed.
Oh, man. And how old were you when that happened?
Well, I'm 32 right now, so back then I was 29, I think.
29, wow. Such an early beginning part of your life, in fact, discovering a lot of things. But reading a bit more about your story, because you were a physiotherapist trainer for the Antwerp Giants, the basketball team, and you've done some, I think with handball, you worked with some people as well. But you're now in a phase in your life where you've been busy with, I know, after your surgeries, and you're in a certain rehabilitation phase. And I know that when we spoke to each other before, when we first met at one of my concerts, that you had so positive energy about getting over this. It's amazing. You were also very busy with a lot of hobbies. What were some of the hobbies that you did?
Well, during COVID, because we're talking the period past COVID, so we were quite chained in our houses, so we had to find new hobbies. And one of them was I started playing golf.
Okay.
And during COVID, I found solace in being by myself, going for walks, and golf was an ideal way to stay occupied, to keep myself busy in a sportive manner, because you go outside, you go for a walk, even though you're just walking from here and there, but at the same time you're with yourself, you're playing against yourself in essence.
Right.
But you're also in nature.
Okay, yeah.
So it was one of the only sports that was still allowed for us to do. Normally I was doing boxing.
Okay, wow.
And once in a while, playing basketball at a club. But normally it was kickboxing, but kickboxing wasn't allowed anymore during COVID.
Right.
But now we're talking the period before the accident is the aftermath of COVID, so we're allowed to go boxing again. I was doing golf. So yeah, I was doing that, but also I woke up every morning at 5 a.m. to start with my workout. So I was doing a workout every morning at home.
So early riser as well as an early sleeper then.
Yeah, it was getting up at 5 o'clock, but indeed it's also going to bed at 9:30.
Quite amazing. Quite amazing. I don't think I would be able to do that.
It's a matter of training.
Just training, but being a musician all my life, you know, was always late. I mean, my average mornings were, nights were like starting at, you know, leaving out the door at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and then arriving back home at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's wouldn't be an option for me in most cases, you know. Although I do try to balance that out when I'm not performing and working. So tell me, this whole process, I mean, you're busy now with some new things because you had your life before the accident and you have your life after the accident because you said also Ellie had some injuries. How did you all work that out together? Because of course it was for her a trauma and for you as well. But how did you all work through that?
Well, I have to be completely honest in this. I was, for a long period, very selfish. Now, she had a severe trauma, but I was hospitalized for 4 months. In 2 years' time, I had 10 surgeries.
Wow.
A few of those were revisions of mistakes that have been made. Now, I'm not going to point fingers. It's what's water under the bridge. But my main focus was for a long time on myself. And her focus was also for a long time on me, which wasn't the equilibrium the relationship needed to be. So at some point she woke me up and told like, look, we can't go on like this. And she was absolutely right.
But she's a very strong woman. I mean, I met her and she's like really 200% behind you. And
she saved my life. I had at one point an infection due to a wound and nobody found what was going on and the physicians were also a little bit careless, to put it in a little bit of it's not
in a mild way.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And she again persevered, like, no, you have to check this and this, while I was take a little bit care. Those physicians know what they're doing, and yet she persevered, and hence they found what was going on. And if they didn't find it, the infection could have gone to my blood and I could have died.
Wow.
So she's the one, she saved my life as well.
Okay.
She took care of my diet, she took care of my exercises, of sleep, of so many things. If we go to travel, if I have to talk at a conference abroad, she's the one doing the heavy lifting.
All right.
I only have to be present, do my talk, and that's about it. She's doing the heavy lifting because I can't carry anything. Well, I can carry something, but I can't roll because my hands are also my legs. So I can't use my hands to carry something and at the same time push.
Right.
So she's doing all the heavy lifting, and at the same time she's also a full-time physiotherapist. At the same time she's also working on research projects of her own.
Wow,
so
that's fantastic.
Oftentimes I'm the one being invited to come and speak, and she's the one behind the curtain, but this time I'm going to use the occasion to take my hat off for everything she does, because of her, I wouldn't sit here.
All right, that's
I
beautiful.
wouldn't be invited to talk at medical conferences. I wouldn't be doing anything I'm doing at the moment. I wouldn't be able to play golf. I wouldn't be able to do boxing again. So yeah.
She's definitely been your rock.
She definitely is. She definitely is. She's the strong person beside me.
That's wonderful, man. That's really wonderful. That's really wonderful. And in your work together, because she's still also doing physiotherapy as well, practicing.
Yeah.
And you all have you're doing your practice basically at home, or?
No, she's involved in a group practice here in the city.
Okay. And I know when we spoke to each other on the phone the couple of times, and I asked you about if there were different, I know, new things happening, of course, with development and science and everything. There are new possibilities. Do you think you'll ever be able to have an operation where you're able to maybe walk again, in combination with, I don't know?
I always hope. There was an experimental surgery in Switzerland where they did a bypass from the brain all the way to the spinal cord.
Right.
But I'm not eligible for it. And also, because I spoke to them, I was in Switzerland, we were in Switzerland last month, and we spoke to them, and they said that actually I wouldn't be eligible also because I already progressed too far. Because I can already walk again if I have my brace. Well, walk is a strong word, but knowing that I come from nothing in my lower limbs,
right.
And now if I'm at home in a controlled environment,
Right.
and I have my braces on, then I can walk with a walker.
Okay, because I remember in the beginning, your father, I spoke to your father shortly after the accident. He and your mom were completely devastated.
Yeah, don't forget, from the 3 children, 1.5 is left.
Yeah,
It's 3 divided by 2.
yeah.
And I know it. I say it in a humoristic way, but
Yeah.
in essence, it's true.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, quite some heavy times, but some positive times behind it.
Yeah.
You're here. We're able to have this conversation now, and you're able to share that and bring also bring your, I always say, better half into the light, as well. She deserves a big shout out to Ellie.
Yeah, big shout out
Also
to
from
Ellie.
my side, because I met her. She's a lovely lady and really definitely a rock.
Definitely, and then we only covered the small part of all her virtues. So I think we need more than one day if we want to discuss all her virtues.
Okay. So now you're in a situation where you have your daily. Can you give me a description, or my listeners, and my viewers, a description of a typical day in JW's life?
A typical day is I get up around 6:30. Well, we get up together around 6:30. Ellie goes to work. I go to the rehab facility. I rehab around 3 to 4 hours. Then I have lunch.
And then what is the process in the rehab period? What are you exactly doing in that time?
Well, I start around 8:30 by myself because my session with the physio starts at 9:30. So I want to get in bright and early so I can already do some preventive work on my shoulders and my core, because like I said, my arms are my new legs, so they need to be trained properly
Right.
in terms of injury prevention, because you can have shoulder injuries from pushing all the time. So that's what I do the first hour. Then I have, like, give or take an hour with the physio where they do joint mobilizations.
Right.
Because you're sitting almost the entire day, so some joints get stiff.
So you need to do certain movements.
We need to preserve the mobility. So that's one of the parts. Then we do some guided exercises to activate certain muscles in the hope that they would awake again, the ones that are sleeping. Or we do some practice exercise for walking.
All right.
And after an hour, give or take, I continue by myself, also with walking exercises, with strength exercise for my legs. So I'm there, give or take 3 hours. Then I go have lunch. If necessary, I go to the university hospital to check whether they're testing participants for my research study for my PhD. If so, I meet them, I do the testings, or I try to make schedules for testings. And if I have testings for a day, then afterwards I do testings, I do the assessment protocols. It takes 90 minutes where we assess acute ankle sprain patients, athletes with an acute ankle sprain. We assess their mobility, their strength, their proprioception, and proprioception is the sense of movement, but also the sense of strength and the sense of positioning. So let's say I have a bottle here, to give an analogy. I need to know where I hold my hand to pour the water,
Right.
which movement I have to do to pour the water, but also how hard I need to pour, so it doesn't go there or doesn't go there.
Right,
So it
right.
goes into the glass. So that's proprioception in a nutshell.
Okay.
We do postural stability tests, jump tests, and some sprinting. So give or take, it's 90 minutes approximately. And yeah, dependent on the day, it's 1 session, 2 sessions, 3.
Okay.
Sometimes I have no sessions, and then I go home and then I write on scientific papers, or I prepare courses, or some days I go golfing or boxing.
Okay. All right.
That's what, and yeah, most of the time we finish around 6, 7, maybe 8, sometimes 9 in the evening, dependent on the day.
That's quite a full day. And what about let's say the extra quality time together as a couple?
At this moment, it's a little bit too few, but the good thing is, because we share our passion for physiotherapy and sports medicine, we get a lot of pleasure in talking about certain projects, about certain possibilities, hypotheticals, different cases of patients. That's some people would consider that work. For us, it's also a matter of quality time.
Right, right.
But yeah, in way of really living and seizing the day, it's sometimes a matter of planning it ahead, and we should do it a little bit more, in all honesty.
Very, very important.
Yeah,
That's very important.
Yeah, but that's my vice, that I get caught up in my work oftentimes and then realize, oh, I'm still working while I should have prepared maybe something. That's my vice. My perseverance, let's call it my stubbornness, is at the same time a vice, because I got lost in time.
Right.
And hence, yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's good. Let's we're gonna go on that just for a little bit. Of course, with the show, I always have a basic theme, and the theme for the show is prosperity. And for you, what does that mean in your whole lifestyle, in your way of approaching each day?
Getting the best out of it. I was to put in an anecdote, I was a huge fan of Kobe Bryant. So as a basketball fan, of course, you can appreciate the Black Mamba.
Yes.
And he is one of the examples for me of getting up bright and early, because he woke up at 4 a.m. to do extra workouts, because he thought, if I do 1 extra workout per day, I have so many on a long time compared to my competitors,
Right.
so I will be the best.
Right.
So it's with that in mind that I try to get up and make from every rehab session the best, from every session that I'm writing a paper, make the best of it, or even if I'm doing a very boring screening session of articles where we have to go hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles, still make the best of it, gain knowledge from it, be productive. And at the same time, it's all with innovation and progress in the back of my head. That's what drives me to get up in the morning. So
Right.
Aristotle said that we all have a plan for life.
Right.
And-
But it's also important to live now, huh? The moment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get satisfaction of everything I'm doing. I'm enjoying this conversation at the moment. But in my opinion, my philosophy is that it falls all into a grander scheme of things, that we all have a plan for life. And I may rationalize it a little bit, but yeah, I love philosophy, I love history, so Aristotle is of course a big inspiration. And if you go back to the essence of biology, So we have the mitosis process from cell number 1. It splits into 2 and 3. Number 1 gives information to 2 and 3 how to survive better.
Right.
So it's paving the way to future generations how to get better.
Fantastic.
So in my opinion, that's the purpose we have here. So if you can innovate, if you can inspire progress for future generations to get better, in my particular situation, it's working on injury prevention or injury rehabilitation in sports, which is a huge socioeconomical cost to society.
Right.
Then I think then I have my plan for life, and then if I can have one piece of that puzzle on the right place, then I think I'm at liberty to say that I was successful in life.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. I got, I don't know, are we running on time okay? Yeah.
20 minutes.
All right. So we're almost on the home stretch. So what I want to ask you now is that this is your idea of prosperity. What would you tell young people today that are, say, want to be a physiotherapist or follow their dream and prosper? What would you tell them?
Don't give up. Don't give up. And I know it again, it sounds catchy. Everyone says you have to persevere, but I'm a living example, and I'm not going to be arrogant about this. In secondary school, after Aisha, my sister, passed away, no one believed that I would graduate secondary school. And I needed my parents to lawyer up and defend me at some point. I have to be honest, they need some credit as well for where I've become. But I was able to, and then I came to the university, but it took me 9 years to graduate my master's degree at physiotherapy. Normally it's 5.
Yeah. Wow.
I think there are some circumstances with Aisha passing away that helped me for my case. But anyway, it took me 9 years, but I never gave up. And nobody thought that I would graduate. And now I'm doing a PhD.
That's what I was just going to mention. You're busy working on your PhD.
Yeah,
now.
next year we will defend the PhD and I will be a doctor. So it's just don't give up. It's that easy. And it's the moment, and I know it sounds very stereotype and catchy again, but even I'm talking from without properly working legs, out of a wheelchair, and yet we are doing a PhD in 4 years,
Wow.
in spite of half a year in a hospital, give or take, the entire time, 10 surgeries. In spite of all those things, we are going abroad and make presentations. We give courses,
Right.
we publish our articles, and we are building the largest scale study in ankle sprain research
Wow.
at the very moment.
That's fantastic. Man.
So if you're passionate about it, then it doesn't feel like work. Okay, there's some boring parts on it, everyone has those. The administration, the data. Well, one of my professors like all the data, but anyway, just push through. Just push through.
So when is your book going to come out?
No plans for that as of yet, but maybe we can talk off record on some ideas.
All right. And there's, you know what, I just want to say, listening to you speak about how you look at your handicap at this moment. You're so fresh and strong, and there's so much good energy coming out. I think you're a wonderful example for people who are going through any kind of physical trauma and want to rehabilitate themselves. So that's well appreciated, and I hope my listeners that see this, and also the people that are viewing it now, since we're a video podcast, will. I think a lot of people will be quite inspired by what you have to say. I want to thank you for coming on the show and telling us a little bit about yourself. And there's so much more I know behind you. You're still young, and you got a great future ahead. And you have wonderful support from your parents and from, of course, from Ellie, your girlfriend. And despite the accident and the mishaps that you've had, you're still going strong. You're still prospering. And I'm sure in 5 years' time we'll have another talk with each other. And
with pleasure.
And who knows, you might be the next time walking through the door. You never know how the development goes.
That would be grand. That would be grand. If I can sign a contract that would say that I would be walking next time, I would sign it immediately.
I understand. Well, look, thank you once again, and a lot of love and strength and good positive vibes to you and Ellie and the family. And I'm sure you will accomplish your dreams because you definitely will prosper.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right. I'd like to thank my guest Jente Wagenaars for coming on and sharing his story. And on that point that we spoke about, here's my quote. Prosperity, wealth, and the willpower to move forward. It's about the time it takes to reach your goals. It's based on self-confidence and belief in yourself. Total connection with your thoughts and feelings. A healing process that makes you stronger as you grow and travel on your journey through life. Obstacles only create alternative ways to reach your dreams and aspirations. As long as you develop from your ups and downs, your life will be fulfilled with prosperity.